Hello and welcome to Option Trading for Beginners by Sensible. As you can see, now there is a level 0. This is a series of webinars which we plan to do uh, on option trading. This starts at level 0 and it goes to fairly advanced topics in option trading. In this webinar, we'll start from the absolute basics so that we have a very strong foundation set for our upcoming webinars. What will you get out of this webinar? This is aimed at absolute beginners. There's no advanced concepts such as option strategies and all that yet. This goes to very basic first principles of options, and it also covers a very healthy dose of common sense and psychology. So if you ask me what's the single biggest thing which you get from this webinar, I would say you get a healthy dose of self-awareness as a trader, which is not really a bad thing to have. So even if you are a fairly advanced trader, I would say it's not really a bad idea to attend this webinar because we cover some things which are absolutely a must know if you are a fairly serious trader. So the agenda is we help you understand, right, how options exactly fit in with overcoming the biggest trading obstacles you have, right? We also talk about how options keep you safe, they keep preserving your capital and help you get good sleep at night. I mean, I like the sound of that. We also talk about how options make you profitable in the long run. We talk about how options help you make money in downturns and still markets. Now, this is very important. So if you're an absolute beginner, you might not know that there are instruments out there which help you make money in downturns. Of course, you can sell futures, buy put options. There are many things. But more importantly, there are also a lot of options out there or choices out there, just to distinguish the word options, which help you make money in still markets. We'll cover that topic. We'll also talk about why and how options are a better alternative to stocks and futures, right? And finally, we'll talk about what are the advantages of option trading and how to utilize them. And indeed, we'll try to drive home the point that options are not really scary. They are your friends if used right. And here is a romantic picture of you and options looking at each other in the sunset, just to drive the point home. So the first question obviously is why even trade options, right? So here's the first interesting big breaking news. You don't exactly need expert knowledge to do options. I mean, trust me on this, right? I mean, people create a lot of mathematical fog around options and financial markets, probably because they don't want you to understand it, probably because they want to make an industry of making you understand it. I don't really know, but trust me, if you understand 10 standard math, it's just about enough to understand options. Options obviously give higher returns. We'll explore in this webinar how and why exactly they give higher returns. The third point is what I like the most. That is, options have a higher probability of success than stocks or futures. Fourth point is, you can make money even if nothing happens. Now, this is great. Let me put it this way. So let's say you were bullish or bearish on Nifty last year. Let's say you were bearish, I was bullish, right? And you went long Nifty, I went short Nifty. At the end of the day, after all the drama, after Trump, Modi ji, I don't know what else happened, economic slowdown, millennials, etc., 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 Nifty is exactly where it was last year. Right? I mean, it was at 11,000, it went on a roller coaster, came back to 11,000. Nothing really happened. So a futures trader or a stock trader, which is you and I, made nothing. Right? We just saw all the drama and made nothing. Whereas if you were in options, we could have made something. And how we make it is a topic which we'll cover in this webinar. But you can make money if nothing happens in options. Finally, and this is the single biggest, most important, the magnum opus point. Options make limited losses no matter what happens. This gives you complete peace of mind. And if there is one thing and one thing alone which I want to stress is the most important factor in trading, it's the ability to trade without fear or nervousness or a neuroticity interfering in our trading decisions. And for this reason and for this reason alone, even if the first four reasons did not exist, I would say, options are the best thing to trade. So from a purely psychological point of view, they are way better than futures. And even from a mathematical probability or how many ways can you win, etc., they are a way better alternative to stocks and futures. So before we jump into this webinar, right, we are not touching options yet. We are still covering a lot of ground on why it's important to understand why options are better. Let me ask you a teaser question. So we looked at data from across a lot of brokers in India. I mean, it's not like we took any privileged information. This out there, NSE released this study long time back. But anyway, the question is, according to statistics in India, 65 out of 100 trades which every retail investor does are profitable. So let's say there are 10 lakh investors, they take 10 trades each, that makes a grand total of 1 crore trades. My question is, how many of these trades make money? So the answer to that, of course, is 65 lakh out of 1 crore make money. Trades, not traders, trades. Retail traders. I'm not counting institutions. If all the retail traders are pulled together, 65% of the times they are right. So the question is, if this is indeed true, right? How many retail investors are profitable? Option A 1%, option B 5 to 10%, option C 20 to 30%, option D 40 to 50%, and option E 50% plus. I mean more than 50%, right? So what do you think is the correct answer? Let's give it a pause. The answer to this is 1%. So let's put that in perspective again. 65 out of 100 trades of retail investors are profitable, and only 1% of those investors are profitable. And this doesn't make sense at any level, right? How do you think it happened? Why? I mean, how can it even happen? So let's figure that out. The reason for this is fairly simple. All the winning trades by retail investors are small. All the losing trades by retail investors are huge. Basically, what I'm trying to say is it just takes one horrible trade to blow up the profits of several small good trades. So if I were to draw the profile of an average retail investor's P&L, there will be those 7 small trades and there will be these 3 absolutely disastrous trades which wipe out the profits. So as soon as profit comes in on a trade, right, the retail investors have a tendency to book it and register the win, because let's face it, right, we are humans, we like winning, we want to register the win, and we don't want to take too many risks and blow up our winnings and make it a loss making trade, right? And the other problem, of course, is since we like winning so much, when losses happen, we have a tendency to hold on to the loss, thinking that we'll avoid that loss. So, and to compound it further, even when a loss-making trade turns around, we tend to get out of it as a zero loss. So, predominantly, all our trades are either break-even trades or small profit-making trades, whereas our loss-making trades are humongous, right? So, this is because we as humans are wired to avoid losses. So this was very gloriously studied by Daniel Kahneman in this book, Thinking Fast and Slow. Fabulous read if you ask me, and must read for every trader. And he elaborates this principle called loss aversions, and he got a Nobel Prize for economics way back in the 90s for this. So this tendency of loss aversion happens because as humans, we get more sadness from losing than happiness from winning, right? And humans hate losing more than they love winning. So avoiding loss at all costs kind of interferes with how much do you win when you win. And this is important, right? Because trading is not about how many times you win. It's about how much you win. So instead of counting magnitude of wins at a very subconscious level, we end up counting wins and losses, and this creates a problem. So let's illustrate it with an example. It is one of my favorite examples to show. This is a stock's LTP price, and you can kind of guess which stock it is. It is RCom. And that's not 80, that's actually 800 on the sideline. So let's say Jignesh bought 1 lakh shares of RCom at 800. So this is how it plays out. At 750, he thought, you know what, it has to come back. At 700, he thought it was a long-term investment. I mean, the joke, of course, is that a lot of long-term investors are actually traders who got their view wrong. At 600, this guy thought, ki ab to wapas aana hai. I mean, how can it go wrong, right? I mean, it's already down, what, 25%. 400, he thought, ki, how do I even stop out now? Because it is down 50%. At 200, he thought, now is the time to double up. At 100, he joined Twitter. At 6 rupees, I heard Jignesh started value investing workshops in Andheri. So the point, of course, is Jignesh held on to this stock for so long because he thought at one point he will make money. In fact, he never hit a stop loss, and if only he had hit a stop loss at 750, he would have saved his marriage. I mean, sorry, he would have he would have saved a lot of his heartache. This happens because the world works on the hope, but hope is never a strategy. As humans, we are wired to avoid losses, and we find hundreds of reasons to believe things will become better and things will work out. So let's look at example, right? in poker, Teepati, all these card games, people keep putting money into bad hands thinking that they'll win. Companies keep pumping more resources into bad projects. I mean, think of all the terrible relationships which you've seen in the last 5 years, right? It just drags, and finally people make losses. So, so we are still not in options, but let me just go on to the concluding parts of this section on the fundamental problem in trading. So the fundamental problem is very simple, right? People go against what Warren Buffett said, which is never lose money. And of course, number two was stick to rule number one. So, or let me rehash it, right? As a trader, your primary objective is capital preservation, uh, which means that you have to conserve your capital for good trades when the good trades happen, and you can't blow it all in bad trades. Or let's put it this way, right? If you don't bet, you can't win, but if you lose all your chips, you can't bet. The problem is, more often than not, we make these very stupid bad trades which wipe out all our capital, which leave us with zero chips. And this, if you ask me, is the single biggest problem in trading. Forget options, forget futures, forget mutual funds. Trading as a whole suffers from this human tendency of loss aversion. And if you want to turn around trading, this is indeed what you have to address. So what's the action point? It's very simple. Avoid big losses in everything. Is everything in trading. You can't lose more than X% of your capital in any trade, which means you have to have a stop loss. But here's the problem. You can't really have stop losses for all your trades. Why? Because sometimes market gaps up, sometimes it gaps down, sometimes it's an overnight trade and next morning you could not even keep the stop loss. Sometimes you kept a stop loss limit order and the limit never came. I mean, there are hundreds of things which can go wrong. You dozed off. I mean, you didn't wake up on time for a gap down opening day, etc., etc., etc. The other problem, of course, is with all the background we have built so far, like Jignesh Kasturi, right? You can't really trust yourself. I mean, I can't really trust myself. No one can trust no one to hit stop losses because psychology, right? I mean, I asked one of the most celebrated traders in India who used to be, one of my ex-bosses, ki yaar, why do people make losses? And he was like, yaar, हाथ नहीं चलता stop loss मारने के लिए, right? So let me put it this way, right? If all trades on earth have limited loss, if all trades have a limited drawdown, if somebody magically cut your losses when they are small, you don't need sensible. In fact, you don't need anything. You don't need anything. The problem is solved, and the entire retail trading history, as we know, is rewritten. But of course, this is not how the world works. This is a wish list, and you can't really do that. So then the problem is we somehow have to have a mechanism to make sure that the amount of money you lose in one trade is always a small amount. If you have that, the world history changes. Retail investors are way better off. Okay. So then how do option strategies help? Very simply put, option strategies or options in general, unless you're of course selling options, come with predefined profits and losses. And this is the single most important thing if you're a beginner, you have to take away from this webinar, that you can limit your losses with options trading. No matter what happens, there is no way that an option strategy with a predefined limited loss can exceed that loss. I mean, if you are long a Nifty option strategy, you're buying a Nifty call spread or selling a put spread, even if Nifty goes to 10 tomorrow from 11,000 or 20,000 tomorrow from 11,000, your P&L cannot be more than, let's say, 3 or 4,000 rupees. Which means that you don't have to be afraid right now about anything. I mean, see, think about it, right? If I tell you ki yaar, you want this trade and I'll guarantee you that this trade will never lose more than 3,000 rupees. Suddenly the way you look at this trade changes. You're like, yaar, you know what, I'll take this bet, what max to max kya hi hoga, 3K, right? And your judgments become so much better because now you're not afraid. I mean, if I tell you, ki, dude, there is some chance that kal raat ko somebody said something on Twitter and everything will crash down, you'll be very scared to take the trade. But now that you don't have a fear of the unknown, you completely know what you're dealing with, you're not afraid of options anymore. I mean, you can sleep way better on a night when Trump decides to get drunk and tweet. Basically, that's that. So let me just quickly demo a small part of Sensible which helps you do that. And this is fairly interesting, right? Let's do this. So there's something called easy options, right? Easy options is fairly simple. At the beginning of any expiry, weekly expiry, you are asked, you know what, Nifty is right now here. Where do you think Nifty will be a week from now? And you don't have to guess, 10, 650, 10, 850, 11, 200, nothing you have to guess. Just tell us up, down or neutral. So you say that, Nifty is strong. We give you three choices, three very simple choices. So, I mean, I don't think Nifty is strong now. I think Nifty is weak now. So, Nifty is weak, and these are your three choices. Now look at this, right? This is the most interesting part. The maximum profit on this trade is roughly 4,500. The maximum loss on this trade is roughly 3,000. And let me ask you this question, right? If you are an absolute beginner, you have never traded option. If I tell you that you do this trade, you won't lose more than 3,000. You might just do it, right? What's the harm? 3,000. It's like, write it off as an entertainment tax for all you know. And you know that at 10,959 is where you break even. That's like 20 points from here practically. So you make a maximum profit of 4,388 at 10,900. You make a maximum loss of 3,000 at 11,000. So if you know that this is how much I gain at this level, this is how much I lose at that level, and this is where I break even, you hardly care what is this trade, whether it's a call spread, put spread, kya hai iske andar. None of these things are important anymore, right? You just can take the trade, and you can indeed take the trade. Click on this button and the trade goes through. I'm not going to hit it because we don't want to do a real trade. So this is very sweet. Like suddenly options become accessible to everyone because 3,000. I might just be bored in my office and I'm wondering what to do. I'll take a 3,000 bet in 1 week. I'll not lose anything more than 3,000, right? This is one example of approaching options, and I really mean this part. This max loss is indeed the max loss. Even if markets crash, there's a war declared on China, aliens invade, or all the rich people take loans from PSU banks and default. Options allow you to make money even if nothing happens, which was our second point, right? So let's say that SBI is at 280 right now and you have a bullish view. If you're a non-option trader, you can only buy a stock or a future. So if it's above 280, you make money. If it's below 280, you lose money. This is 50-50. But imagine if you could make money by saying that, you know what, I think it will go up, but let me play safe and I'll say that this won't go below 270. It's strong lag raha hai, but it can go 1 or 2% down, but 270 is the limit. Saying that this will go up from 280 is slightly hard. Saying that this won't go below 270 is fairly easy, right? Now there is an option called put option, which if you sell, right, will give you money if it doesn't go down below 270. So you can basically collect that premium. How this works and all we'll figure out in the future webinars. But if you sell a put option of strike 270, it basically says you get money if it doesn't cross 270. And it's easier to get it right than to say that it will be about 280. 280 is 50-50. 270 is slightly more probable because it's not going below 270. You have like a 2-3% cushion. So you can see that it has a higher probability of making money, right? And if you have a bearish view on SBI, if you're not an option trader, you have to short futures, and a lot of people who shorted futures on SBI 2017 had a very bad time when it went up 20%. But that's about max loss. It's a different concept. But if you're an option trader, you can sell a call option which says that, you know what, I don't know if it'll go below, but it's definitely not going above 290. And that's a fairly easier bet to make than saying that it'll go below, right? And you can collect the premium. So the chances of getting it right by selling an option which says that it won't go up too much or it won't go down too much and all is very simple, because you're just saying ki no big movements, and no big movements is fairly easier to say, right? And if the market is stuck, if you're an option trader, you can sell a call of 290, sell a put of 270, and both, and you get both right. And if you are not an option trader, basically, yeah, you can have this look on your face, and the kid is like, you basically, that's an expression saying, I don't know what to do, right? So anyway. Basically, well, again, coming back to it, all I'm trying to say is that whether it's Nifty or SBI, it's difficult to say it will be up or down. And the probability of getting that right is 50%, because let's admit it, right? Nobody really knows where market is going. I mean, I don't know if tomorrow Nifty will go up, down, or in circles. But I can obviously say that, Nifty will not go to 11,200, which is 200 points away in 1 week. It's fairly easier to say, right? Ki kal upar is difficult, 200 point to nahi upar ja raha is easy. So it's basically a higher probability of success to say that there is no big move, right? So let me just show you the option chain and tell you what exactly the deal is here. So this is an option chain, and look at these options on Nifty, right? Let's look at September 19th expiry. So let me just, so this is a free feature. You don't have to pay anything to use this. So let's just look at how much money you can make by doing that. So Nifty is right now at 11,000, 11,000. See, if you short a 11,200 call, you can make roughly 892 rupees in 7 days on a capital of 88,000, which is like roughly what, 1%, right? 1% return in a week just by saying that, you know what, it's not going to move too much. And if you are going to say that it's not going to go up even 1%, which is slightly more harder, but it's not too difficult either. You can say that, 2,300 rupees earned for predicting that Nifty is not going to go above 11,100. All you do is sell the call, right? If you're even more aggressive and say that, you know what, Nifty is not going to cross 11,000, which is still easier to say than Nifty will go massively below, you make 5,000. So it's fairly easy to make money saying that, you know what, Nifty won't go up 5,000, Nifty won't go up more than 1%, 2,300, Nifty won't go up more than 2%, which is even more easy to say 892, etc., etc. Right? So the good thing is, you don't really have to be right. You just have to make sure that you're not too wrong in this case. But in the first case, where you buy or sell a future or a stock, you have to be actually right. And being right is difficult, being less wrong is easy. In summary, I would say that stocks and futures are like flipping a coin, and options are like counting cards in a casino. Here's a fancy visual to make it look more appealing. We all know what happened in the next scene, by the way. so so anyway, what we like is higher probability, and this AIG building, I don't know what that is doing, but let's see what that is doing. So so we talked about the higher probability, right? So in essence, when you sell options, you're saying that if something unlikely happens, you will pay money. Basically, you make money if Nifty stays below 11,200, and you lose money if Nifty goes above 11,200, right? So in big move, you lose money. If there's no big move, you make money. So if nothing happens also, you will make money. This sounds like insurance business, right? Basically, think about what SBI Life or LIC does to you. They insure your life saying that if something unlikely happens, right, which is, when you go up, God forbid, they'll pay you money. But in the most likely chance that you won't, which is, I'm hoping that all of us will have long, healthy, happy lives, right? We will end up paying some money to SBI, and we'll happily pay that insurance premium and be safe. Now the thing is, option selling exactly is like this, and the option which is being sold is exactly like the insurance policy which is being sold to you or me, right? Now the catch is, see, one or two people might go up in a sample space of 100,000 unexpectedly, but the probability that it will happen to everyone is fairly low, which is what insurance companies are playing on. So if you keep selling options, in the long run, you'll always keep collecting that small premium, right? And this small premium adds up to a lot over a long run, which is why all insurance companies are profitable, and which is why no insurance company has gone broke ever in history. And that is the star, which is AIG. AIG has actually gone broke once on selling these things, but that's not really insurance which they sold. They were basically gambling on the 2008 financial crisis, which they had no business doing as an insurance company, but they did. But the rest is history, of course. But the point is, insurance is a reasonably good business, and option selling is insurance. And when you're selling insurance, you're betting on the probabilities against the probabilities of very low probability outcomes. So the last part, or the penultimate part, of course, is high return. So the question is, how does options give you high return? And the answer to that is simple. Leverage is what gives you high return. So if you are bullish on Nifty with capital of 1 lakh, if you buy stocks, you get a return of 1%, which is 1,000 rupees. But if you sell one Nifty put option, which has a premium of roughly, 100 points or something for a month, it makes you 75 into 100, 7,500 rupees on a capital of something like 80, 90,000. That's like a return almost in excess of 7.5 to 8%, right? That is great. So you can already see that Nifty option selling is more profitable than stock, ETF, mutual fund, etc. buying by 7 to 8 times, 7 to 8x times return. So that's about high return. Now let's go to make money if nothing happens. This is something again which options do. There are something called neutral strategy. See, if you can't really make money if nothing happens to a stock, you can just sit on the sidelines and watch it rot away in our portfolio. But you can do something to options all the time if they are neutral. So the idea is, we'll just demo a small feature in Sensible. So let's see how this works, right? So let's say that you have a neutral view on Nifty. So you just have to come and say that, you know what, Nifty is between 10,800 and 11,200. I don't know if this is really what the case is going to be. But I'm just saying that there's a 400 point range for 19th September expiry. You ask strategies engine, boss, what should I do if this is what I believe? We tell you, you know what, here are some interesting options for you to trade, right? Now, you can make like a profit of some 2,100 rupees on a capital of roughly 1.8 lakhs, which is in 6 days. So in 6 day return is roughly 1.2%, which is quite a bit if you ask me. And we tell you, you know what, if you think this is going to be neutral, this is a strategy to trade. Your max profit is some 10,000 rupees. Your max loss is some 5,000 rupees. So this is on 19th September. If I change the expiry to 26th September, I can see that, you know, this gives me a maximum profit of around 2,000, max loss of around 5,000, and this is the trade. Or let me make it even more interesting. There are a lot of settings here, but let's make it fairly interesting with straddles and strangles. So this is called a straddle. If Nifty stays in a range of, let's say, 10,900 to 11,100, you can actually make around 11,000 rupees on 1.6 lakhs, which is like 6.8% by trading options. This is phenomenal because we are looking at a return of around 6% in a matter of 2 weeks. And this is something you can do with options. Or let me do something even more interesting, right? Let's say you are somebody who understands option. There's a simple thing to do. Go to Builder. I mean, don't worry about the platform right now. I mean, we are not even trying to promote this. We'll just show you an interesting thing. So let's say today is a Friday, right? And let's say that you have some stock in which you think there is neutrality. I don't know if there is neutrality or not. Maybe I'm wrong when it comes to neutrality. But for the sake of assumption, let's say that there is some stock which is neutral. And I'm going to pick the most wrong stock to be neutral. So Bharti Airtel, right? Let's say that you are saying that Airtel will stay in a range of 330. So you are saying that it won't go below 330, for which you will sell a put option. I mean, put option is an option which says ki if it doesn't go below 330, you'll make money. And you again decide to sell a call of, let's say, 370. So basically there's a range you are defining from 330 to 370, which you are saying that this will stay, Airtel will stay. Forget everything else. Let's see what happens if Airtel doesn't move much till Monday. So I'm going to move this to Monday. This is Sunday, this is Monday. So even if it remains stationary till Monday, you'll make roughly 2,700 rupees on this strategy. I mean, forget about the strategy. I'm not saying that this is a view we have or something, but in the hypothetical case that Airtel stays where it is exactly on Monday, you'll make around 2,700 bucks on a margin of, let's say, 1.5 lakhs or something, which is again great because we are talking about a 2% return in nearly 3-4 days, right? And if it stays where exactly it stays till expiry, let's say that, you know, it stays in a range of 326, which is 6% down, to 372, which is 7% up, you'll make around 7,200 rupees. So neutral strategies are a thing which exists. You can make money if the stock stays within a range, even if it moves a little bit left or right. And this is something which options enable you to do. We'll figure out way more about how exactly this can be done, etc. in the weeks to come. But this is just a preview to convey the fact that, you know, options can really help you make money even if nothing happens in the market. So this kind of brings us to the end of this webinar, and I'll tell you what, see, because we are doing it as a series and we might not have enough time to cover absolute basics everywhere, I'll give you some material which is there in the YouTube channel of Sensible, in the website of Sensible, which is free educational content, which kind of helps you, you know, prepare in advance of the class. So you can be that kid in the class who learns the textbook before the teacher covers the portion, that stuff, right? So basically, this is Sensible Education, web.sensible.com/education. You can go to our website and get this. There's also a lot of option strategies which we have talked about. I'll not make you type that horrendous URL in your browser, but go to Sensible, do this drop down, and there is learn options trading, right? And this will basically take you to this part, which is education. And again, there's learn strategies. This is a shortcut of all the option strategies. If you're interested, you can start going through it right away. This is buy call, this is buy call spread, this is sell put. I mean, lots of strategy. I mean, you can understand which strategy is used when, etc., etc., etc. with this. There is a blog. You can just search for Sensible blog on Google and it will take you there. We cover a lot of topics in our blog. We'll write about markets, we talk about trading psychology, options, etc., etc. So I hope you do the homework before our next webinar. In the next edition of this webinar, we'll talk about two topics. One, basics of option strategies, and we'll talk about which strategy to use when. So which kind of brings us to the close of this webinar. Thank you so much for being such a patient audience. We'll see you soon, and have a great weekend. Bye.